Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Tech Tuesday. Today we have Sharice Brown, who's one of our ITS learning specialists, who's going to teach us about creating infographics in Canva. Just a quick note, this is not to be confused with Canvas, which is our one of our official learning management systems to on the academic side to manage and create online courses. Canva is a free web tool essentially for people who maybe aren't graphic designers, but they want to spruce up maybe documentation or reports or anything else with some graphic elements that can, just better illustrate any points that you're trying to come across. So even though it's not an ITS supported tool, it is a great tool, and we'll be sending you some follow-up information on where you can go for support and things like that after the session. For anybody who's new to Tech Tuesday, if you have a question at any point during the session, please feel free to post it in the chat by hitting the chat bubble at the bottom of your Zoom window and just posting it there. We'll be stopping periodically to take your questions. We're also recording today's session. So just in case you want to go back over anything that Sharice is talking about, we'll make sure to send you the link to the video that you can rewatch or share with your colleagues later on today. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Sharice. Sharice, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Tuesday. So let's get started. And today's Tech Tuesday session is on Canva. We're going to spotlight infographics. Okay, so Canva is a free graphic design tool that can be used, right, to create so many things. And Canva could be used to create flyers. Canva could be used to create great presentations, as well as Canva can be used to create graphics for social media. Excuse me, but for today, we're going to focus on infographics, a method used to create visually appealing content. Okay. There are so many types of infographics, from how-to, timelines, comparisons, Q&As, flyers, locations, education, and more. So there is no limit to what you can think about using the infographics for. So what are some of the good characteristics of a good infographic, right? So we want to make sure it's eye-catching. It has a clear message. It's simple. It's targeted, right, with your audience. You think about branding. You stick to one topic and not several, and using a contrast of colors. Okay. So at this point, we're going to shift gears and we're going to just dive into Canva. Okay, so let me end here. And just give me a moment, folks. Okay, Vanessa, can you see my screen?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, so now we're signed into Canva, and I just want to make you aware that I had a free account, but then I upgraded to Canva Pro, because with Canva Pro, you get like millions of images, graphs, anything you can think of, okay? So on the home page here, right, we have a section underneath for your projects. And as you start to build your projects, right, you'll be able to come here to this section and you can see your projects. What we're going to go to next is templates. So again, Canva has a whole bunch of templates that you can select from. Let me go back to home. And then you can share, right, your infographic with your team members. This is for trash. Underneath, I could create a team. Also have the option of discovering apps. But before we actually get into creating an infographic, right, branding is so important. So I'm going to click on the brand kit. Okay. Excuse me. So as you can see, I have the logo for Wild Cornell. Okay, and then let me just scroll down. And I also have the branding colors. Okay, so I'm going to open up a new browser and I'm going to go to External Affairs. Okay, and this is the brand center for External Affairs. And this is the color palette that I'm going to focus on. Okay, and so I'm going to scroll down. Okay, and here are our color values, the primary and secondary. Okay, so if I was interested in creating my palettes, my brand colors for the college, what I can do is just copy, right? Copy this code here, right? And I could toggle back over to my Canva account, right? And then I could click up here and say, add and discover palettes. So I'm going to click here and say, add custom palette. Okay. So once I do that, I could scroll down and you can see I already added, excuse me, WCM brand colors here. And I have some other colors here. Okay, and this is the new one that I created now to show you guys what to do. So I'm going to click on this plus symbol here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete and paste in the first branding color. Okay, and then I'll continue and I'll just click on the plus, right? And then I could toggle back over to the external affairs palette. And I would just continue to copy, right? And paste, toggle back over to Canva and delete this and paste in the code. And this is how I would start to create my custom palette, okay? And up here, I can click here, this little pencil icon, right? And I could customize it. And I'll say Brown's colors, or actually let's just leave it as WMC colors, okay? So now this is actually saved as part of my branding colors. Now, if I wanted to, I can click on these three dots here, okay? And I could reorder the palette. So for the WMC colors, if I click here to reorder, it's just going to reorder it and I could move it up. Or if I wanted to move it back down, I can do that. And I can click on the three dots again. I can make a copy of this if I wanted to, or I can delete this. I'm going to delete this palette because I already created it. And yes, I'm sure I want to delete it. Okay, and you could see here are my branding colors. Okay, so now that we started out with brand colors, you also have the option if you wanted to use a specific font. And if you are if any of these fonts you don't like, because this is by default, the ones that I'm using in Canva Pro, I can also upload a font, right? So I'm just going to open another browser. And there is a free tool called thefont.com. And I'm going to hit return, right? And here are a whole bunch of fonts that you can use, which are free, right? So if I wanted to browse, let's say the B section, right? And if I was interested in any of these fonts, the bath towel, let's say, I can click download, right? And it would download it to my computer, right? And then when I come back and click on Canva, right? I could say upload a font, right? And this is the latest one, the last one that I did upload. So I'm going to say cancel. Okay, so I just wanted you to be aware of that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to templates. Okay, and up at the top, specifically, right, I'm interested in infographics. So take me to the infographics. Okay, so there are over 2,000 templates that I can choose from, right? So sometimes what you can do is just browse and you can get an idea of what you would like to do. And as in the presentation, the slide deck previously, there's so many different infographics that you have the option of browsing. So I'm going to continue to go scroll down and let's see. I think I like this one. Fruits for healthier skin. Who doesn't like having healthier skin? So I'm going to click on this. And here, this is starred, right? This is a star to create a favorite. So I starred this, but to unstar it. But if I was interested in making this one of my favorites, what I can do is just star it. And I'm going to click on it because now I want to customize this template. Okay. Okay, so now this is the template that I'm going to use. And at the bottom, I could change the percentage to increase it so you guys can see it if I wanted to make it bigger, etc. Okay, so I'm going to leave it about 29%. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to work with the color. So I'm going to take the mouse and click anywhere, right, in the infographic. And it's showing me that the default background color is green. So I'm going to click on background color. And here's my handy dandy brand kit. And so I don't want green. I'm going to use orange, the WCM brand orange. Okay. So I definitely change the color there. Okay. The next thing that I want to do is the font. Okay. So for this particular template, the font is Dosis Extra Bold. Okay. And so if I wanted to change the font, right, I have the option of changing it. So what happens is when I click on fonts, it shows me recently used, right? And if I keep scrolling, right, it gets into my uploaded font, right? And by the way, for uploading a font, sometimes you won't always see the font that you're looking for, but again, Canva has thousands of fonts that you can select from. And then when you continue, it just gives you the A to Z list or alphabetical list of all the fonts that I have access to, okay? The next thing is, so I said font, so I'm gonna do Poppins. I'm gonna change it to Poppins, okay? The next thing is up here on this palette or up here, I can change the font, right? I can decrease it or increase it. So if I wanted to, I can increase the font, definitely decrease it. And if at any point I make any change, right, I can always come up here at the top and undo it, okay? Next, I can also change the color, the font color, right? So if I wanted to, I can use, again, in any of the branding colors or any default colors, okay? So just to show you how it works, I'm going to select black. That's bold where you can see that. And if I wanted to, I can also change the font to bold. I don't like this, right? So I can either click on bold again or come up here and change undo. If I want to use italics, I could do that also, but I don't want to. And here, this is where you have alignment. So right now it's centered. I can change it to the left. This goes to the right. I don't like it. So I'm going to stick to keeping it centered. Okay, then if I wanted to add a list, right? This is like bullet points, I can add a list. Spacing, right? If I clicked on spacing, I can change the letter spacing or the line spacing, okay? Then we have effects. I click on effects. So if I wanted to, I can click on shadow, okay? And you can see that it changed a little bit with a little bit of a shadow, right? I could change it to a lift, but I'm just gonna say none, okay? Then I can move over here and I have animate. So I'm gonna click on animate, okay? So if I wanted the text to rise in, and you could hover over any of these to kind of get a feel of what the animate would do for your infographic. So I could pan, it could fade in, typewriter, that kind of effect there. And so you have so many options that come here, okay? The other thing, continuing with some of the features, is I have here this kind of ellipsis or three dots. I'm going to click on it. So I have some more options. So I can underline the text if I wanted to. I don't like that, so I'm going to not use that. I can click here for uppercase and change it to lowercase. Don't like that. Position, again, it depends on what kind of, what I'm trying to set the tone of the infographic for, moving it forward to the front, etc. Okay, and let me click back here. I also have, if I wanted to copy a style or remove it, I can do that. I can click on transparency, right? And if I wanted to, you see, as I'm decreasing the transparency, right? It's going down, right? But you know what? This is the heading, so I want to keep it to 100%. I also have the option, right, of clicking here for a link. So I want to add a link to this infographic, make it a little more engaging. So I'm going to click on link, okay? And what I'm going to do is toggle over in advance, because this is all about fruits, right? And keeping your skin healthy. I did a search in Medline Plus, eat healthy and fruits. And then I said, you know what? Let me go to the US Department of Agriculture. So I like this, right? Because this gives a lot of information about fruits, what fruits are in a fruit group, etc. So I'm going to copy and paste this URL. Then I'm going to toggle back over to my infographic and I'm going to paste it in. Okay. And once it's pasted, okay, I'm good with that. And I want to mention to you guys that with this using Canva, the infographics, right? You don't have to save. At no point did you have to save anything. So that's good. It automatically saves. Okay. Now, before I'm ready to share this, right, I want to look at other things that I maybe want to change with this infographic. So I'm going to take a look here, click here. Okay. So now I can edit the image, right? I can crop the image, right? If I wanted to, and I'm going to say cancel that. I could also flip the image. Maybe I don't like the flower like that. I can do a vertical flip, right? I can do that if I wanted to, right? And if I wanted to, I could also add some animation here. So I'm not going to click on that. If this template, I don't like this particular graphic here, I can delete it. Maybe I don't want it there. Again, if I wanted to change the color, right, I can also do that. Maybe, what about white? Okay, I like that. Okay, so I could keep it as white. Okay, so as I continue to kind of customize, right, this infographic for my audience, right, fruits for healthier skin. So we have the pomegranate, you have the orange, the cucumber, the lemon, the apple, the watermelon, mango, strawberry, banana. Hey, where's avocado? Right? So I'm going to change this, right, from banana to avocado. Okay. And so, oops, and if I could just go back here and capitalize it, right? Because the avocado, right, it gives you, it provides or it can help with providing you with healthier skin, the vitamin E. So I wanted to add that there. And when I look this over, after I customize it, if I'm good with it, right, I could print this out, right, or share it. So what I can do is come to share, okay, and I'm going to say download, right? And then I would just say download PDF print suggested. So I could download it, and it's letting me know that this was downloaded as a PDF. I could share this, I could copy the link and share it. I can also go back to share, and I can look at what was suggested, the PDF print, right? But I want to change it to a PNG. So I can do that, right? And I could change the pixels, right, if I wanted to, and I can download it. Okay. And so let me click on the download. Okay. And let's see here. Okay. Vanessa, are you able to see this download?
I don't see the PDF that you just pulled
Okay.
up.
So let me,
There it goes. It's loading now.
okay. So if I wanted to, folks, right, here is, right, my quick infograph, right? And because I made it interactive, right, I can click on fruits, right? And it's taking me to the home site, or the website rather, for my plate, right, with fruits. Okay, I'm going to come back to my design. Now, most of us may want to create an infographic that is one page, but guess what? You have some other options. So up here at the top, I could duplicate this page if I wanted to. And now when I scroll down, right, I have the same page, right? If I was continuing with fruits for healthier skin. So I'm going to delete this one. Let me scroll back up at the
Sharice, we
top.
got a quick
Oh,
question that is
oh, sure.
pertains
Okay,
to what you're doing. So you added avocado by changing the last of bullet point number 9, I believe it is.
correct.
But somebody had asked, what if you wanted to add number 10, let's say another fruit? Like, would you be able to do that in Canva?
Yes, you can definitely do that. So let's go to duplicate, right? So I duplicated, and let me see if I'm going to have sticky fingers here. Okay, so I duplicated the number. That was the first thing, right? And I'm going to make that a 10, right? And then let me just duplicate the text, and I hope I'm not going to have sticky fingers again. Moving this down. And let's say I wanted to put, right, banana back. Banana, right? And then I could also do the same thing here, would duplicate the text. And again, hopefully I'm not going to have sticky fingers here, Vanessa, but it is possible, right?
Okay,
Put
we
that
can see your
there. And
there's
I would
small little
continue.
text fields. So
Yeah. And so I would, next, I would copy the circle, right? Copy the circle. Did it do the circle? My fingers are, okay,
I
copy the
think it's
number.
the number.
But you guys get the idea. My hands are a little sticky there, but
And you can
yes,
also, I know that there's a text field on the left where you can add two if
yes.
you wanted to. Yeah, okay. I
So
didn't want to jump
let's,
ahead if you were getting to that because I know you have other.
sure, if you wanted to, you can definitely add text, right? If I wanted to, um, I could add some further text here. Let me see, right? I can add if I wanted to. I could like get rid of everything here. And if that is the case, if I wanted to start off from scratch, I would start with a new blank infographic. So any other questions, Vanessa?
No, we answered
Okay,
some other ones in the chat, but we can bring them up at the end too, just
okay,
to
okay.
reinforce.
So this was definitely starting out with a template. And as I said, you have thousands of templates that you can use. Um, and so this can be customized. I also wanted to let you know you can add notes, right? And now what I want to show you is if I go to, let's look a little bit over here for elements, because we're going to get into this for creating a customized one. So we looked at what you can do if you wanted to try, choose or select a template, right? So I'm going to go back now to templates. I'm going to go back to infographics. Okay. And this time, instead of looking over 2000 templates, I'm going to say, create a blank infographic from scratch. So we're starting off from scratch. So I'm going to click here in the template. I'm going to start with a color. So I'm going to go outside of my branding colors to the default colors. And let's make one on Canva. Okay. So I have the color that I want to use, background color. Okay, now I'm going to go to text, add a heading. Okay, so let's just make this, really bigger. And I could type this in just to let you know. If you wanted to, you could type it in. And let's make this a little bigger. Okay, and let's see what I'm going to do here. Okay, infographics 101. Okay, so now I'm gonna, whoops, my sticky fingers again. I'm gonna move this up, okay? And this is not really popping out to me, right? We talked about some good qualities of a good infographic. So I'm going to come here, right? And I'm going to change the color of the font, white. Oh yeah, okay, that pops out a little more. And I'm just gonna make this a little bigger so you guys can see it there. And I'm gonna move this over. Oops, my fingers. Okay. All right. So now I want to go into my elements or photos. Let's see. Um, this comes up, but if I wanted to, I could search for Canva. Let me see what kind of logos I can get for Canva. So I definitely, this one looks nice, right, and fancy. And this is animated. Okay. All right. So let's go for this one, Vanessa. And let me get my fingers going. All right. So I'm going to put it here. But then this might, okay, I'll leave it like this. Okay, so then if I want transparency, I'm gonna just, make it midway. Okay, I'll leave it like that. Okay. Next, what am I going to do? Let's get into using some other elements. Okay, so I'm gonna use, okay, I'm gonna put here the line. Okay, and I'm going to, whoops, just okay, put it across. Okay, it may not be perfect. Okay, and let's see what else I want to do. I'm going to change that to white also. Okay, And let's go back to some elements here. I'm gonna do this, let me see, do I wanna do circle? Okay, and let's make it white also. And I'm gonna make it a little smaller and move it here, okay? And let me put in the number, okay, 1. And let's make it stand out. Whoops. Let's see, black. Whoops. Okay, I didn't want to change the whole background. I just wanted, let me make the number a little bigger. Let's make this number, whoops, my fingers are a little sticky there. Okay, black. Okay, good. And I want to make the number bold. Okay, so let's get some text here. Okay, and let me increase it here. And let's see, first step, right? You got to go to Canva first. Okay, open Canva. Okay, and let me make it a little bigger. Okay, oops. My fingers, Vanessa, if I can, let me open it up some. Okay, and sorry about that, folks. My hands, sticky fingers here. Okay, so let me decrease it. Let me actually make this bigger. Okay, and then like this. Okay, and I want to make this a little smaller, right? And move this over. Right, and then what I can do is just copy, right? It's easier if you just kind of copy, right? It's easier to do that. Just put a number 2. I'm gonna just duplicate this, right? Bring it down. Okay, so the first step would be, okay, open Canva. The second step we talked about, right? You have to choose a template, select template, right? And I could continue on and on to customize it, and I can build it and put like 3 to 4 or 5 bullet points, right, for creating Canva. So again, let me just show you guys. I can duplicate this, drag it down, align it. Okay, swap this out for number 3. Again, if I want to, I can copy this, right? Put it down here. Next, right? Customize. Just looking, select template. You want to customize it, right? And let me see. We can. Okay. If I align, so I can continue building it, right? And again, copying it, right? And putting my next bullet, what kind of bullet there. And right, if I want to copy this and continue. Okay, so we have open Canva. We have open Canva, select template, customize, and then okay, after customize, really, you can perfect your design, okay? But then ultimately, right, you want to save and share, right? So this is just a quick kind of, on the spot or on the fly infographic, just starting from scratch to just show you guys what you can do. If you wanted to start off with creating your own infographic, just keep in mind that if you decide not to go to home and use the templates, right? And let me just type in here, infographics, right? You can easily look through all of these templates, right? Over 2,000 to give you an idea how you can customize. You can select any of these. You have different topics, key areas. But if you customize your own infographic, then it will take more time to develop. It depends on your time, right? So in the end, any of the infographics that I have created, right, I can share with my colleagues, right, in the end, right? There's so many templates here. So I'm gonna stop sharing, Vanessa, to give at least, some time for some questions.
Sure. There
So,
was actually a great one that I got in my as a direct message, and I was just
okay.
chatting with the person and giving some links. But basically, just for anybody who's wondering, the question that we received was, so if you create something on Canva and play around with the colors, just create any kind of infographic or any design work, and you download it and you keep your original design. Can you assume that there would be no copyright issues? So just that is a great question, and
That
I
is
just
a
wanted
great
to.
question.
So in terms of what is allowed, and I'm gonna send this link to everyone in the follow-up email. So just in case you have any questions about
Okay.
like what you own versus what Canva owns, it is a great resource. So essentially, all of the free photos and the music and video files on Canva can be used for free for commercial and non-commercial use. However, there are some limitations to that. For example, if there's somebody who's identifiable in a photo, you need to be able to find the source to make sure it's a royalty-free image, things like that. You can't create something and pull a photo from somewhere else and alter it and then use it and claim that it's yours, like
Right.
things like that.
Right.
And you wouldn't be able to create something in Canva, download the file and then try to upload it to a stock photo a site, let's say, and then try to make money off of it. Like, so
Right.
there
You
are
want to
some
stay away
limitations.
from that. Yeah.
Exactly. So, in I would say in most cases, especially for Cornell, if you're just trying to create a very helpful infographic or graphic to illustrate something, it's likely going to be for non-commercial use. You're just doing it to educate people. It's probably going to be fine. But just to be safe, I'm going to send everybody the very good it's very plain English kind of free media license agreement that Canva posted that
Right.
explains what you can use Canva for and what you cannot use Canva for, just to dispel like any doubts of, can I do this in the system?
Right, right. That's a great question. And also, when you're using the free version of Canva, you actually have access to 5 gig of cloud space. This is separate to the question that was just answered in case anyone was curious. With the Pro version that I have 100 gigabytes. Also, when I opened up the session, I talked about branding, right? So with Canva, you get the branding kit, right? But with the Pro version that I have up until 100 kits, right? So say, for example, I am working on different projects, I can definitely create or have the option of creating 100 different branding kits. So some of the benefits of, Pro, or that you have access to thousands of images, stock images that you can use, but you can also upload. If you have a paid subscription, right, with Getty Images, also you have images that you can get from the Noun Project. You can also get it from Pixels. There's other free resources out there. And if you have your own content, right? Say you want to use your image, right, for marketing, right? And you want to add it, you can take a picture of yourself, right? Upload it, right? And include it in your infographic. So there's so many wonderful things that you can do.
And I just wanted to point out too for that Nancy Rader in the chat, she did mention and put a link to the brand guidelines when it comes to like using official Weill Cornell colors and fonts and things like that. We'll be sending those in the follow-up email as well. But if you are planning to create any type of graphics that include the Weill Cornell branding, just make sure that you're adhering to those guidelines to, you know, just to make sure everything's kosher and looking good and how it's supposed to be. We'll be sending those guidelines to everyone as well, just as a quick reminder. We got a question that just came in. Sharice, can you show us how to adapt your design for different social media platforms on Canva?
Okay, let me go back to, okay, so what happens, and Vanessa, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so say for example, let me go back to infographics. Okay, let me just pick, let me just choose one. Okay, so what happens when you have to have the Pro, Canva Pro. So let's say I started out with this infographic and it was on 101 clean beauty, right? If I wanted to switch it to resizing it for social media, I can say resize, right? And I could say resize for Facebook, and then the pixels would be 940 by 788. And it would be the same idea. Let me just copy and resize. But again, you have to be able to use the resizing in this option, you have to have Canva Pro. So that's one of the perks of having Canva Pro. Then what I could do is share. And if I wanted to, I can go directly to Facebook. So that's how that can be done. And again, the resizing tool, right, is available if you have Canva Pro. And again, it can be resized based on what you're trying to achieve, right? So if you were trying to do a postcard, you can change definitely the settings there. And I just wanted to show you also, you have this option of, let me go to elements, and then filters, right? So I just want to let you be aware of is that because there are several photos, graphics, and videos, what happens is if you have a free account, right, or pro, it will show you what you have access to. So for example, the crown here, pro, lets me know that if I wanted to use this, I have access because I have a paid subscription, right? But let's say I wanted to only see, let's see, and change it to free. So if I wanted to, I can apply the filters, right, to all free items. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, we just got one about what your thoughts are on using the Canva website versus the app.
I haven't really used the app, but it depends on your preference, right? Some people definitely like using the app. I haven't tried it, but I imagine it's the same, right? You should still be able to have the functionality using the app.
I think the main difference, I've looked at the app before. There are certain filters that work better with a mobile device. You know,
Right.
like for example, if you ever used Instagram, there are photo filters and stuff like that, which are available in the Canva app. So if that was something you were interested in looking into, I would definitely say take a look at the app and see those add-ons. But yeah, I would agree with Sharice. It's totally your preference. I think they're generally the same. And maybe you like using it better on an iPad or a phone
Yeah.
instead in lieu of the desktop version.
Right, because sometimes, I mean, theoretically, what should happen when you go from using the desktop to any of other devices, right? It should have responsive software, right? So that it adapts to the shape of the screen and the functionality is the same. But I prefer just, you know, working, the web version is fine for me. Another thing I wanted to add in the last minute that we do have is that OneDrive. Hey, we have OneDrive at Weill Cornell. So if I wanted to tap into look, my OneDrive resources, hey, it's right here at the click of a button. And here are other apps, right? So just to let you know, there are other ways to bring your content into Canva. So I just wanted to highlight our OneDrive over here. So I'm going to stop sharing, Vanessa.
And just one last question to Victor. I was actually typing, but I'll just answer it faster. Victor, I know you were a little late, and no problem. So just to reiterate, while Cornell doesn't have an institutional license for Canva, so you wouldn't have to log into your Seaweed and email, Seaweed and password. You could create an account on your own, and we'll send a link of how you can do that. And you can just open up an account. You don't need Weill Cornell's help to do it, and start creating whenever you'd like.
Right. Because you're not limited, remember, to infographics. Today, my spotlight was just on infographics because Canva has a whole wealth of tools that you can use. And Vanessa is going to follow up, as she said, with resources. And we're going to provide links to LIL, or LinkedIn Learning, right? And there is a course called Canva, right? Or learning Canva, and you can take the course. I believe it's about maybe an hour and 15 minutes, and it goes into all of the features of Canva. It doesn't just talk about infographics. So again, today's Tech Tuesday was only on the spotlight of infographics. So she'll send out the resources. Thank you, everybody, for attending today's session. I hope you learned a lot. And check out Canva when you get a chance. It's a free tool. And for those who want to upgrade, you can. And if you do want to upgrade to the Pro, I believe now for those wanting to use Canva now, I think it might be under $150. Yeah, that's it for me, Vanessa.
Okay,
Unless
well,
there's
thank
any
you
other
so much.
questions.
Thank you, Shreya. Yeah, we don't have any other questions, just a bunch of people in the chat saying thank you. Thank you guys for joining us for about 47 minutes of your time today. And I'll be sure to send you all the follow-up information by the end of today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.